Picture this. You are in your 70s. You wake up in the morning, sunlight spilling across the kitchen table, and as you stand, you notice your legs feel just a little weaker than they did 10 years ago. You still want a garden, to travel, to lift your grandchild into your arms, but here's the truth. After the age of 70, our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle at a much faster pace. Scientists call it sarcopenia, and it is not just about looking toned or being strong. Losing muscle means losing independence, losing energy, and even losing the protective shield your body uses to fight off disease. Now, here is the surprising part. The kind of protein you eat can determine whether you keep that shield strong or whether it slowly crumbles. For decades, eggs were considered the gold standard of protein, and yes, they are good, packed with amino acids and nutrients. But new research is telling us something even more exciting. There is a type of protein that for people over 70 may actually work better than eggs at building and preserving muscle. This discovery is reshaping how doctors, nutrition scientists, and longevity experts are guiding seniors to maintain vitality well into their 80s and beyond. Here is what is really happening inside your body. When you eat protein, it is broken down into amino acids, the tiny building blocks your muscles crave. Think of them as bricks, but not all proteins deliver the same quality or combination of bricks. As we age, our muscles become more resistant to using those bricks to repair and grow, almost like trying to build a house with bricks that keep crumbling in your hands. The right protein source, however, provides stronger bricks and a spark that tells your body build now, build stronger. In today's talk, I'm going to reveal exactly what this protein is, why it outperforms eggs for seniors, and how you can use it in simple, delicious meals starting this week. We will explore the science, but also the human side, how these foods protect your independence, your confidence, and even your joy in everyday living. Together, we will uncover the biological mechanism that makes muscle loss speed up after 70, the protein source that signals aging muscles to grow again, how your gut microbiome joins the conversation, timing strategies that maximize protein use, foods and recipes you can put on your plate tonight, and lifestyle adjustments that make protein even more powerful. This is not about bodybuilders. This is about you, living with strength, balance, and freedom, no matter your age. As we step into our 70s, something remarkable and a little unsettling happens inside the body. Our muscles, which for decades were eager to respond to protein, suddenly begin to resist. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. Imagine trying to water a garden in the heat of summer. You turn on the hose, but the soil is so dry and compacted that the water simply runs off instead of soaking in. That is what happens when aging muscles receive protein. The signal to grow is weaker, the absorption is less efficient, and the repair process slows down. Scientists have measured this shift very carefully. A 2022 study from McMaster University found that compared to people in their 20s, those in their 70s required nearly twice as much protein in a meal to stimulate the same level of muscle growth. This is not because older adults lack the capacity to grow muscle, but because the switch that turns protein into muscle is harder to flip. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Muscle fibers are made of proteins themselves, constantly breaking down and rebuilding in a cycle of renewal. By the time you reach 70, inflammation, hormonal changes, and reduced blood flow to muscle tissue all conspire to slow that renewal process. Think of it as a construction site where the workers are still there, but they are tired, the supply trucks arrive late, and the blueprints are faded. You can still build, but everything takes more effort and precision. Now, here is the hopeful part. This resistance is not a dead end. It simply means we must be more strategic. When you choose the right protein source, you can provide not just more bricks for the construction site, but higher quality bricks that the workers can actually use. Some proteins contain special amino acids, particularly leucine, that act like a foreman yelling to the crew, "Wake up, start building." Leucine is the spark, the ignition key that makes muscle respond. Why does this matter so much for health and independence? Because muscle is not only about strength. Muscle tissue is like a metabolic engine. It helps regulate blood sugar, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, cushions against falls, and even supports your immune system. A strong thigh muscle can be the difference between getting up from a chair on your own or needing help. A strong core can mean avoiding a fall that could lead to a fracture. Every ounce of muscle is like adding insurance to your health. So if you are listening to this and thinking, I am in my 70s, is it too late? Let me reassure you, it is absolutely not. In fact, studies show that even people in their 90s can build new muscle with the right nutrition and light resistance activity. Your body is always listening to the signals you give it. And protein is one of the strongest signals you can send. Let me share a story that illustrates this. A patient of mine, let us call her Margaret, was 74 when she came to me worried about weakness in her legs. She loved walking in her garden, but noticed she was becoming unsteady. After adjusting her diet to include more of the right kind of protein at breakfast, within 6 weeks, she felt stronger, steadier, and even began doing light yoga again. What changed was not just her food, but the way her body responded when we gave it the right spark. This is why today's topic is so exciting. For decades, we have put eggs on a pedestal as the ideal protein source. And while eggs are good, there is a type of protein that delivers even more of that spark, more leucine, more muscle ignition, especially for older adults. In the next section, we are going to explore exactly what that protein is, why it outperforms eggs after 70, and how you can begin weaving it into your meals starting this week. If this is resonating so far, and you want more science-backed strategies to protect your health and independence, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a new talk. For most of our lives, eggs have been celebrated as the ultimate protein. They are versatile, affordable, and packed with essential amino acids. But here is what research is now showing. For people over 70, whey protein, the very same protein found in dairy and often used in medical nutrition shakes, can actually outperform eggs when it comes to building and preserving muscle. Why? It comes down to how efficiently your body can absorb and use the amino acids. Imagine you are running a factory. Eggs deliver a good supply of raw materials, but the shipments arrive slowly in small crates. Whey protein, by contrast, is like receiving a truckload of perfectly cut, pre-assembled parts that the workers can use right away. Your aging muscles do not have to struggle. They get what they need fast. The key lies in leucine, that special amino acid I mentioned earlier. Whey protein contains nearly 50% more leucine per serving than eggs. That makes a world of difference after 70, because leucine is the ignition key that flips on muscle protein synthesis. In other words, it tells your muscles, wake up, it is time to build. And because older muscles are harder to activate, you need that strong, clear signal. A 2023 Harvard review looked at clinical trials of older adults supplementing with whey protein. The results were consistent. Participants gained more lean muscle mass, improved leg strength, and even enhanced balance compared to those consuming the same amount of protein from eggs or plant sources. This is not theory. This is measurable change in real people who were just like you, determined to stay strong. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I do not want to live on protein shakes. And you do not have to. Whey protein is simply a concentrated form of dairy protein, and it can be used in many ways beyond a shake. You can blend it into oatmeal, stir it into yogurt, or even mix it into soups for a creamy texture. It is not about replacing meals. It is about upgrading them with a more powerful signal to your muscles. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you do this. Within 30 minutes of consuming whey, your bloodstream is flooded with amino acids. This rapid rise is critical because older muscles need a stronger surge to respond. Eggs digest more slowly, which can be useful for satiety, but they do not trigger the same peak response needed to overcome anabolic resistance. Think of it like sending a text message versus mailing a letter. Both deliver the words, but only one gets there in time to spark immediate action. Let me give you a practical example. If you have oatmeal for breakfast, you can stir in a scoop of unflavored whey protein, sprinkle on some blueberries for antioxidants, and top with a few walnuts for healthy fats. You have just transformed a carbohydrate-heavy breakfast into a muscle-preserving powerhouse. Another option is blending whey into a smoothie with spinach, banana, and almond butter. That drink is not just tasty, it is a direct message to your muscles: grow stronger today. This shift to whey protein is not about building bulk. It is about protecting function. Imagine being able to climb stairs without hesitation, carry groceries without strain, or walk confidently without worrying about a fall. These are the victories that come from nourishing your muscles correctly. There is also another hidden benefit. Whey protein supports your immune system by increasing glutathione, one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. So while it is helping your muscles stay strong, it is also protecting your cells from oxidative stress, lowering inflammation, and giving your immune defenses an edge. Now, eggs are still valuable. They provide choline for brain health and other nutrients, but when the specific goal is preserving muscle after 70, whey protein has been shown again and again to outperform. It is not about abandoning eggs, but about knowing which tool is sharper for the job you need most right now. In the next section, we are going to uncover something most people overlook: your gut microbiome. Because even the best protein will not do its job if your digestive system is not primed to absorb and deliver it effectively. And here is where the story gets even more interesting. You have now seen how whey protein can outperform eggs in building muscle after 70. But there is another player in this story that many people overlook: your gut microbiome. Imagine your digestive system as a bustling city filled with trillions of microscopic citizens. Some of them are builders working to help you absorb nutrients, reduce inflammation, and keep your muscles fueled. Others are troublemakers, creating waste, blocking signals, and weakening your system. Which group dominates your gut can determine whether the protein you eat becomes strong, healthy muscle or simply passes through unused. Here is what is really happening inside your body. When you eat protein, it must first be digested into amino acids. Those amino acids then travel through your bloodstream to your muscles. But your microbiome is like a customs checkpoint. A balanced gut helps break down protein more efficiently, producing short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and allow amino acids to reach your muscles intact. An unhealthy gut, however, can disrupt this process, leading to bloating, nutrient loss, and inflammation that blunts your muscles' ability to respond. A 2021 study published in Nature Metabolism revealed that older adults with diverse, balanced gut bacteria had stronger muscles and better physical function, even when they consumed the same amount of protein as others. In other words, it is not only about what you eat, it is about how your gut prepares the fuel. Let us use an analogy. Imagine trying to build a house with bricks that arrive dirty, broken, or in scattered pieces. Even if you have a truckload of bricks, your builders cannot use them effectively. But if those bricks arrive clean, uniform, and perfectly stacked, the crew can work quickly and efficiently. That is the difference between a struggling microbiome and a thriving one. So how do you make your microbiome your ally? The answer lies in feeding the good bacteria with prebiotics and probiotics. Prebiotics are the fibers found in foods like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, and bananas. They are like fertilizer for the healthy bacteria. Probiotics are the live bacteria in foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut. They are the builders themselves, stepping in to restore balance. Here's a simple protocol. Start your morning with a bowl of Greek yogurt, which naturally contains both protein and probiotics. Add a handful of berries and a drizzle of honey. Then, with your lunch or dinner, include a side of fermented vegetables like kimchi or sauerkraut. And do not forget the prebiotics, roasted garlic in your vegetables, or a sliced banana as a snack. Each choice you make is like adding more workers and better tools to your construction crew. The beauty of this approach is that it does not require complicated supplements. Whole foods give you what you need. And when your gut is thriving, your muscles respond more powerfully to whey protein. Think of it as tuning the radio. When the signal is clear, the message gets through instantly. When it is fuzzy, the message is lost. Let me share a story. A gentleman in his late 70s came to me after struggling with digestion and muscle weakness. He was already using whey protein, but felt little improvement. Once we adjusted his diet to include daily fermented foods and more fiber-rich vegetables, his digestion eased, and within 2 months, his strength improved noticeably. The protein he was consuming finally had the clear channel it needed to reach his muscles. And here's one more hidden benefit by nurturing your microbiome. You're also lowering systemic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like static on the line, disrupting your muscles' ability to respond. By calming that static, you are not only preserving strength, you are reducing risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. So remember, it is not just the protein you choose, but the environment you create inside your gut that decides how effectively your muscles can use it. If this message is resonating with you and you want to continue learning how science can translate into everyday choices that protect your health, make sure to subscribe for more empowering strategies. In the next section, we are going to explore timing, because when you eat protein after 70 can be just as important as what you eat. By now, you know that whey protein can spark muscle growth more effectively than eggs after 70, and that your gut microbiome plays a decisive role in whether that protein actually works for you. But there is another factor that can make or break your progress. Timing. When you eat protein may be just as important as how much you eat. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Your muscles are not equally responsive all day long. They go through rhythms, almost like tides rising and falling. After a night of fasting while you sleep, your muscles are especially hungry for nutrients in the morning. Later in the day, that sensitivity dips, then rises again after physical activity. This means that simply piling all your protein into one meal does not give you the best return. Instead, spreading it throughout the day ensures your muscles get a steady signal to keep building. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed older adults who consumed the same total amount of protein each day, but one group spread it evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, while the other ate most of it at dinner. The result? Those who distributed their protein more evenly built more lean muscle and showed better overall strength. It was not the total protein that mattered most, but the timing of delivery. Think of it like watering a plant. If you dump an entire bucket of water at once, most of it runs off the soil and goes to waste. But if you water a little at a time, the soil absorbs it fully and the plant thrives. Your muscles are the same way. Small, steady doses of protein are far more effective than one big bolus at night. So, what does this look like in real life? Let us say your goal is to consume 75 grams of protein in a day. Instead of having 50 grams at dinner and 10 or 15 scattered through breakfast and lunch, you would aim for about 25 grams at each meal. That might mean a whey protein smoothie with fruit and nuts for breakfast, grilled salmon with vegetables and quinoa for lunch, and a chicken and lentil stew for dinner. Each meal provides a meaningful dose, keeping your muscles fed and responsive all day long. There is also something powerful about pairing protein with activity. After even light resistance exercise, such as chair squats, lifting light dumbbells, or a brisk walk, your muscles become more sensitive to protein. It is as if the construction crew at your building site suddenly perks up and says, "We are ready for materials, send them in." Eating protein within 1 to 2 hours after activity amplifies your results dramatically. This is why I encourage older adults not just to think about what they eat, but to link it to when they move. Here is a simple protocol you can try. Start your morning with a whey protein shake blended with spinach and berries. Later in the day, take a 20-minute walk, then enjoy a lunch rich in protein, perhaps a lentil salad with grilled chicken or tuna. In the evening, finish with a balanced dinner, again including 20 to 25 grams of protein. If you need an extra boost, a small protein-rich snack like Greek yogurt with seeds before bed can support overnight muscle repair. Timing also matters for recovery. As we age, our sleep cycles can become more fragmented. Providing protein before bedtime not only supports muscle repair, but can also stabilize blood sugar levels, leading to more restful sleep. This is a beautiful example of how nutrition and lifestyle interconnect. One choice amplifies another. Let me share a story. A 71-year-old gentleman I worked with had always eaten a heavy dinner but skipped breakfast. When we redistributed his protein across the day, including a morning whey smoothie and a light protein snack after his afternoon walk, his energy levels soared. Within 3 months, his muscle tone improved noticeably, and he reported fewer aches and faster recovery after activity. So remember, it is not just about total protein. It is about creating a rhythm, a steady stream of building blocks delivered to your muscles when they are most ready to use them. In the next section, we will bring this all to the plate, exploring specific foods, recipes, and preparation strategies that make these ideas not just theoretical, but delicious and doable every single day. We have talked about the science, the signals, and the timing. But now comes the part that brings everything to life, your plate. Because at the end of the day, what matters is not just what you know, but what you can actually eat and enjoy day after day. And here's the good news. The protein that helps build muscle after 70 is not just effective. It can be woven into simple, delicious meals that make your body stronger while bringing joy to the table. Let us start with breakfast, because this is often the most overlooked meal for older adults. Many people over 70 skip breakfast or settle for toast, cereal, or coffee, foods that provide little protein. This is a missed opportunity. Remember, after a night of fasting, your muscles are like sponges waiting to absorb nutrients. Imagine waking up your body with a smoothie made from whey protein, blended with spinach, banana, blueberries, and a spoonful of almond butter. In less than 5 minutes, you have created a meal that not only delivers leucine-rich protein, but also antioxidants, healthy fats, and fiber. That one change can completely transform how your muscles respond through the day. Another option is stirring unflavored whey protein into oatmeal. Top it with walnuts and sliced apple, and you have turned a bowl of carbs into a balanced, muscle-friendly meal. These are not exotic recipes. They are small adjustments that make a big impact. For lunch, variety is key. One of my favorite options is a Mediterranean-style lentil salad with grilled chicken or salmon on top. The lentils provide fiber for your microbiome, while the fish or chicken delivers clean protein. Toss in olive oil, lemon juice, cherry tomatoes, and parsley, and suddenly you are not just eating for muscle, you are eating for heart health, for your gut, and for joy. Dinner can be hearty without being heavy. Try a simple chicken and vegetable stew where you stir in a scoop of whey protein just before serving. It blends seamlessly, thickening the broth while boosting protein content. Pair it with whole grain bread and a side of roasted garlic broccoli, and you have a balanced meal that tastes like comfort food but works like medicine. Snacks matter too. Instead of reaching for crackers or cookies, reach for Greek yogurt topped with chia seeds or cottage cheese with pineapple. Both are rich in protein and probiotics, supporting muscle repair and gut health at the same time. If you prefer something savory, try hummus with whole grain crackers and sliced peppers. Here is what is really happening inside your body with each of these meals. Every scoop of whey, every bite of yogurt, every piece of lean fish or chicken is broken down into amino acids that flood your bloodstream, reaching your muscles quickly and efficiently. The fiber and probiotics from fruits, vegetables, and fermented foods tune your gut microbiome so those amino acids get delivered without interference. The healthy fats from nuts, olive oil, and seeds keep inflammation in check, ensuring your muscles can actually use the nutrients for growth. This is food as medicine in the purest sense. Let me share a story. A 75-year-old woman I worked with loved cooking but felt overwhelmed by complicated diets. Together, we made a simple plan: whey smoothie for breakfast, lentil and fish-based lunches, and hearty soups or stews for dinner, all balanced with vegetables and healthy fats. Within 2 months, she not only noticed greater strength in her legs, but also told me her meals felt more satisfying and enjoyable. She was eating more intentionally, but without feeling deprived. I want you to imagine your meals as your daily prescription, but one that tastes good, brings you pleasure, and connects you with loved ones. Food can be functional without being clinical. In fact, when it is shared, colorful, and flavorful, it becomes something you look forward to instead of something you have to do. If this approach resonates with you, subscribe for more science-backed strategies where every lesson connects the lab to the kitchen, and every kitchen choice becomes a step toward independence and vitality. In the next section, we are going to explore lifestyle amplifiers, the habits beyond food that multiply the effects of protein, giving you the strongest return on your efforts. Up to this point, we have focused on the science of protein, the right source, the role of the microbiome, and the timing of your meals. But here's the truth. Protein alone cannot do all the work. Think of it like buying the best quality seeds for your garden, but never watering the soil or giving it sunlight. To truly unlock the benefits of protein after 70, you need to pair it with lifestyle amplifiers, daily habits that magnify its effects and help your body put every gram to good use. The first amplifier is movement. Muscle responds to signals, and one of the strongest is physical activity. Now, this does not mean you need to join a gym or lift heavy weights. Simple, consistent movement is enough to awaken your muscles. Chair squats, light resistance bands, Tai Chi, even brisk walking, all of these create tiny microtears in the muscle fibers. Do not be alarmed, because those microtears are exactly what tells your body repair and grow stronger. And when you feed your muscles protein after that movement, the repair process becomes even more powerful. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Movement increases blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. It also activates enzymes that allow amino acids from your protein to enter muscle cells more efficiently. Without movement, those amino acids can circulate in your bloodstream without being fully used. With movement, they are pulled into the very fibers that need them. It is like opening the gates of a city. Suddenly, the trucks carrying your protein can enter and deliver their load. The second amplifier is sleep. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which is a natural trigger for muscle repair and regeneration. If you are only getting 5 or 6 hours of broken rest, you are missing out on one of the most powerful anti-aging therapies your body has to offer. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, and consider a small protein snack like Greek yogurt or warm milk with whey before bedtime to support overnight recovery. The third amplifier is stress management. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that breaks down muscle tissue and makes it harder to build new strength. Imagine trying to construct a building while a demolition crew is working at the same time. Cortisol is that demolition crew. To keep it in check, try daily breathing exercises, meditation, or even a gentle evening walk outdoors. These simple practices lower cortisol, allowing your muscles to actually use the protein you are giving them. The fourth amplifier is hydration. Muscles are made up of nearly 75% water, and even mild dehydration makes it harder for your body to synthesize protein into muscle tissue. Keep a water bottle nearby and aim to sip steadily throughout the day. You might not always feel thirsty as you age, but your muscles are silently asking for hydration to do their job. The fifth amplifier is social connection. This may surprise you, but research consistently shows that people with strong social ties maintain better muscle function as they age. Why? Because social connection lowers inflammation, improves motivation to stay active, and reduces stress hormones. Sharing a protein-rich meal with friends or family not only feeds your body, but strengthens the bonds that nourish your spirit. Let me share a story. 78-year-old man I worked with began adding light resistance training twice a week, improved his sleep hygiene by going to bed at the same time nightly, and started having Sunday dinners with his grandchildren. Within 4 months, his strength improved, he felt more energetic, and his mood lifted dramatically. The protein he was already eating finally had the right environment to work. These lifestyle amplifiers are like turning on the sunlight, water, and fresh air for a plant that already has good soil and seeds. Protein is the soil, but without these other elements, the plant will not thrive. When you combine them, however, the results are extraordinary. In the next section, we will bring everything together in a powerful conclusion. A summary of the science, the protocols, and the hope that even after 70, your body is fully capable of strength, vitality, and independence. We have traveled a long way together in this conversation. From understanding why muscle loss accelerates after 70, to uncovering the protein that works better than eggs, to exploring the gut microbiome, timing strategies, meal ideas, and lifestyle amplifiers. But the core message is simple. Your body is not done, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. You can still build strength, protect independence, and live with vitality if you give your body the right signals. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you put these lessons into practice. Whey protein floods your system with leucine, that ignition key that tells your muscles to wake up and grow. Your microbiome, when nourished with fiber and probiotics, clears the way for those amino acids to be absorbed. By spreading protein evenly across the day, you keep your muscles fueled like a steady rhythm, not a sporadic burst. And when you layer in movement, sleep, stress reduction, hydration, and connection, you create the perfect environment for protein to do its work. Think back to the analogy of the construction site. At 70, the crew may be slower and the tools worn down, but the potential to build is still there. What you have learned today provides new blueprints, better bricks, a stronger foreman, and the right conditions for the work to flourish. Muscle is not just about lifting weights. It is about rising from a chair without hesitation, walking steadily on uneven ground, and feeling the confidence to keep living life on your terms. Here's my invitation to you. Choose one protocol from today's talk. Maybe it is starting your day with a whey smoothie. Maybe it is adding fermented vegetables to your lunch, or perhaps it is taking a short walk before dinner, followed by a protein-rich meal. Pick just one, and notice how your body responds in the next week. These small choices compound, and soon enough, you will find yourself stronger, steadier, and more energized than you imagined possible. You are not powerless against aging. Your muscles are still listening, waiting for the right signals. And with every meal, every walk, every night of good sleep, you are sending a message: I am still building, I am still strong, I am still here. If today's message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe and join our BioBites community, where science becomes strategy and strategy becomes a stronger, healthier, more independent you.